All right, audio check, testing audio, making sure audio is working. Turn down the music a little bit. All right, let me see if I remember how to do this. All right. How is the audio in relation to stream? Let's see here. If anybody's in chat, just let me know. I want to make sure my audio is good before I get too far on this, because this is a completely different setup, different computer, 100% completely different everything. Just want to make sure my audio works. I might have to listen to myself. Let me see, I could do this. I could do it on my phone. Then I can mute my mic. That way I know if it's working or not. So let's go here. Audio is good. Okay. Hey, Thunderhead, how you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, man. Well, since there's people here, might as well show my ugly face. Hey, Liz. All right. So everyone should see me. Wave my hands, the magic hands and everything. So yeah, so today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different thing instead of playing games and stuff. We're going to be essentially rebuilding, building, upgrading a computer. So this is the computer in question. It's kind of a, so that's inside of it. I already built it once, kind of been passed around for different purposes, but today I'm going to be repurposing this machine as a streaming machine just for my cooking streams. And so I'll give you a brief rundown of basically the parts that we're going to be upgrading and the parts that are currently in it. You ready to have time to watch? Oh yeah, man. But yeah, glad you're in there. I actually have a new Discord that I'm trying to start up. I'm not sure what I want to do with that old one, but basically more stream focused. I could probably repurpose that one, but it is what it is. But yeah, so this one right now has a 1070 graphics card, and we're going to be upgrading it to my old card here. Well, let me flip it over for y'all. No, wait. So this is a 2070. So we're going from a 2070 Super, actually, even though it doesn't say that on there. See, there's a Super. I just saw some camera lens cover. Oh, yeah. So this is, oh, shoot, I should have brought up this camera. I actually have two cameras. Let me switch over to the overhead shot. So here's the overhead shot right here, which we'll use when we actually get into building it. But this camera, I just bought it. It's a Sony. Oh, golly, I'm going to have to look at the model number. Let me go get the box, actually, real quick. And so y'all should be able to hear me as I talk, because I am wearing a wireless lav as I go over here, because I just got this camera like yesterday. So let's see here. It is a Sony ZV-E10 with the 1650 millimeter lens. So that's the model. Here's the front of the box. Just a basic stock lens with this kit. There's more of the specs on the side there if you read that. But yeah, so far it's okay. I've noticed it has a little bit of an issue because I bought it mainly because I wanted to be able to power it over USB-C, but apparently it's draining the battery a little bit. And so what I'm probably going to do is order just a dummy battery for it, which is what I have on my other camera, which is a Canon EOS M200, which is touted mainly as a streaming. They're both mirrorless, right? So they're not DSLRs, or mirrorless cameras with replaceable lenses. I went with the Sony just because the Sony lens mount is more common. I bought the Canon originally a long time ago, but there hasn't been that many new lenses for the Canon, and so switched over to the Sony. It's actually the white model too. I know you can't see it, but it was the one that was in stock. The black one wasn't in stock. So the nice thing with the Sony is it can do USB streaming, but it can only do USB streaming at 720p. But right now what I'm running it through is through HDMI into a capture card, just an Elgato capture card, which I have two of. I have a HD60X, which is designed mainly for capturing games. And then I have a Cam Link, which is what the Canon is using. But so speaking of capture cards though, the reason I want to go a little bit bigger with my stream setup for these more IRL focused streams is this is what I ordered. This bad boy was on sale. So this is the Cam Link Pro. This is what I'm going to be installing today. benefit of this one over essentially any other is we have 4 actual HDMI inputs. So yeah. Yeah, they're okay for shooting camera. Like if I was really going to get into photography, I wouldn't use these. These are just more like point and shoots anyway. But for it's kind of funny how they're touted as cameras, but in reality they make very good video cameras. That's just the way they are. The mirrorless ones are better for that. That's just my opinion. But this is what I'll be installing today with the graphics card. The other thing we'll be doing with this computer too is I'm going to be adding this wireless card. I've had it for a little bit. This is just a simple TP-Link wireless card because I don't want to run a cable to stream it. Maybe I will eventually, but right now I'm just going to straight up do wireless because that's what I'm using right now. I'm using a MacBook Pro, so hopefully the stream is stable. I've never used this MacBook to actually do streaming before, but let me just double check the stats. Okay, we're not getting any drop frames. That's good, 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 good. All right. Well, I guess the moment of truth is it's time to put this bad boy on its side. Okay, well, I guess I could go over the specs for the system. So the processor in here right now is a 2700X. Now, I'm going to ask y'all, should I do a processor upgrade today or not? Because I do have another processor, but I'd have to take it out of the machine. I could stall and use that for another day. But yeah. Yeah, for my actual streaming machine, it's so juiced up, I don't even really need an extra dual PC setup. It's a 7950X, so it's pretty much like fastest Ryzen you can probably get. Multi-core anyway, so most multi-cores you can get for Ryzen consumer. And then I have a 4090 RTX 4090s, and that thing will handle literally anything I throw at it. So I don't have to worry about any bottlenecks when it comes to streaming on that machine. It will rip through anything I throw at it. Well, I have to get the big cooler out of there because I do have a much bigger cooler on that machine. But yeah, we might do that. We'll see how quick this part works, and then we'll move on. So let's just take this apart. Pop this side off. I'm going to just take off the glass first before I lay it down because this is tempered glass and I don't want it to get accidentally broken. All right, so let's lay this on the side. All right, make sure this is framed in the shot. There we go. Good, good, good. Let's switch over to the overhead. So now y'all should be able to see the overhead shot here. Center up for y'all. So let's start taking stuff apart because this is the fun part, right? Taking things out. This computer is probably my first, this case actually is the first NZXT case I ever got. It's just a H500, the actual original like 500, not the 510 or the Flow version they have now, which is actually much better. It's all solid on the front, unfortunately. But this card I bought just as a, this is a 1070, you know, spare 1070 just laying around I had. Actually, I think I might have bought this card because I was wanting to turn this machine basically into a streaming, literally a monitor PC where I can watch videos and stuff on. Oh, Windows 7. Yeah, I have a few Windows 10 keys. Got them like a while back. You can always get an extra one. It feels like they kind of give it away to you too sometimes. But all right. And I want to say this computer originally did have this Super in it because I bought this one probably a month. I bought this card a month before they announced the 30 series. And of course, then we had the GPU. Couldn't find any GPUs, but so it was a good purchase at the time, so it worked out. And I want to say this card has actually kept its value for the most part. It's probably eventually dropped down in value because new cards are out. 4,000 that is. All right, got that card in. And I know for a fact that this is enough juice for this. So we'll do this, plug that in. I suppose it doesn't matter. Don't use any of my PC building tips here, how I do things, because I'm probably doing it incorrectly. We'll plug that in there. All right, there's good. I needed probably an extra screw. I just noticed that that card only had one screw in it. That can't be good. I think I pretty much switched to, I mean, I've been on NVIDIA for, ever since I had my 1070 way back. 1080 actually, I had a 1080. The 1080 is kind of, it had an overheating issue, but it was because the card manufacturer made a mistake on it. But I have not had any issues with EVGA, even though EVGA is completely out of the card manufacturing business now. And so for my 4090, I actually had to go with MSI, which I've had pretty decent luck with them. Man, I can't even get that in there. There we go. All right, that's in. All right, let's see here. And now let's see, which one should we go in? Actually, let's do a little unboxing here with the capture card. Unboxings are always kind of fun to do. So there it is. And so the main reason I had to use this machine versus something else is because I needed something that had a big enough PCIe slot, because this requires more than just a 1X, right? Because this is, of course, for HDMI. Come on, focus. You don't want to, there we go. So it's 4 of them. I suppose I flipped that upside down. There you go. You can read it now. So 4 inputs. Yeah, they do have pretty decent performance. The only thing I have tried using before is their encoder. NVIDIA's encoder just takes so much load off my CPU. But they're both probably viable these days. So we're gonna put you down here because I have to. It has to be in this slot. Yeah, I know. Someone else I knew recently bought one of the 79 XTs. It might have been actually more than the other. Let me see, can I get you in there? There we go. Oh man, that's a little bit on the older side, to be honest. I've just been Ryzen for so long. This is actually my first CPU in here is my first Ryzen, which is 2700X, and then I have the 3900X, and then I have the 7950. And my 7950 is hot. I will say that boy is hot. This CPU though, I can run the stock cooler on it and it's fine. The 2700X never had really heating issues at all, even with the stock cooler on it. Runs really well. All right, let me take off the antennas of this thing. Yeah, so the coolers I actually have is I have a Noctua D15, I believe, on my big machine, and then I have a Be Quiet cooler on the 3900X. So I need to take all this out. Then let's see, which slot should I put it in? Probably the bottom one, more space down there. Yeah, I know the new Ryzen systems they almost recommend to go water cooling with them now. I know they just run very hot, and they'll take as much headroom as you give them. They'll just keep going and going and going. Because the only limitation I can't see it there. There we go. Is that in? Let's make sure. Okay. It's going to be a little tight there, but I think there should be adequate airflow on that. Oh man, I can feel that. Growing up, I had probably only like I had hand-me-down systems. It's only till recently that I started like kind of buy other stuff just because I could afford it. I will say some of the used prices have gone down. It was just kind of ridiculous originally. There was a time where everything was expensive and things just keep getting more and more expensive, it feels like. All right, let's see there. We got that going. Put this one on. Because I found out if you don't put the antennas on these wireless cards, they don't work very well. All right, so I think there's one thing I want to get out of here though while I'm in here. Let's look at it. Okay, so this NVMe is going to stay. Let me look at the back of it. I know y'all can't see it. Let me go back to the other cam. And see, there it is. Okay, that's not even plugged in. That's why it wasn't recognized. I'll probably repurpose this into a stream, not a stream, but a media. Media hard drive, this one. This is a, this wasn't even plugged in. This is just an 840 Evo, kind of an older SSD. Not sure when this was made. It's not showing me the manufacturing date, but let's pull that out. Yeah, I mean, depending on the games you play, I mean, that's the thing. More and more games come out. More and more games do come out, and even some of the newer games aren't too bad with it come performance, right? Like, depending on the game. I mean, if you're just playing some of those casual games, even like some of the more competitive games run pretty decently on low-end systems. So I'm going to be repurposing this SSD as a fresh install for another system with that graphics card. So I'll have my basically a computer hooked up to a TV. So if I want to watch like something in my office, I can, because I have a 42-inch as a monitor for my work machine, and so I just switch between the work machine and the other one, so I can use it for play or whatever. Not really play, but watching videos. I might want to remove that too. Let's see here. Let me. Oh, there's also there's an old hard drive in here. You know what? Can I remove you as well? I wonder. I'm gonna have to turn you upside down, I think. There's a. I'm gonna try to get an angle of it with the overhead. So buried in there is this spinner drive I kind of forgot about, and I'll take it out here. I'm just going to take out the whole cage. I'm not sure what to do with that drive. I think that's like old backups and stuff. It's not even plugged in. I just want to take it out to reduce the weight on this machine because these old hard drives do weigh a little bit extra. And since I'm not using it, it's fine. I'm very hesitant for the putting the CPU in here because this power supply, I want to say, is only 620, and I don't know if it'll have that much. Yeah, this is an old one, but golly, look at that. Look at all that dust on there, dude. Cobwebs and everything. Let's see, what are Little cobwebs on there. That can't be good. This looks like an unearthed it out of a tomb. Like mummies. You know, like Indiana Jones stuff. There's even a bug in there. Look at that. Okay, look. You gotta look at the bug. See if it'll focus. You know, focus? Focus. There we go. There's a bug in there. That can't be good. I got bugs in the system. Yeah. This power supply will be fine for this CPU and this graphics card because I ran that for years, this setup in particular on this power supply with even the hard drive. So I'm not too worried about that. It's just the faster processor may be the limitation. But man, I need to get me something to dust all this off with. I'm gonna go get me a little rag of some sort. Just something. Let's see, I have one of these little microfiber cloth will be fine. Just something to dust it. Surprisingly, I mean, I know the system's probably at this point 3 years old. I think it is. Because I bought this like very early on. I could look at some of the manufacturing dates of stuff. Actually, this hard drive, I think, actually is toast. Take a look at that. Look at that burn mark there. That does not look healthy at all. That's some corrosion stuff there. Might have been the actual bug that was in there got fried. You have an 800? Yeah, 800 not bad though. I would say it's better to get a slightly bigger one because even if it's a bigger one, it's not going to be it's not going to pull more than it needs, right? It's just going to give you headroom. Because the efficiency doesn't change. But I actually bought a 1000-watt for my big system. No, this I think was a backup of a backup drive. I think, well, let's see here. Let's see here. This is a 2 terabyte Barracuda LP, 2 terabyte. This I think actually was a this wasn't even one that was really used for anything at all, I believe. I don't think it was used for anything. It may actually still work, but that just looks kind of bad. It's surprisingly shiny. I guess I don't really notice how shiny silicone is until you put it under a light. But yeah, it looks like something came in, like a power delivery line got fried, either by dust. I don't think dust would do that. I think it had to have been like a bug of some sort, to be honest. It did that. All right, let's just make sure all the cables are good. Oh, I need to unplug this. All right, so I have to go from the top there. All right, lift up. Let's see. There we go. Man, that thing is kind of hard to get out. That SATA connector is kind of wedged. Let's do it this way. All right, there we go. Got that SATA connector out. I mean, you can tell how still has the cable tie on it and everything. Maybe, but I mean, since it wasn't plugged, I mean, it's like whatever. It's like a whatever drive because it wasn't plugged in. I mean, if it hasn't been plugged in for, I don't know, what, 2 years at this point, probably. Was there anything on there of importance that I needed? Probably not. So it's all relative. All right, well, I think I'm going to try to boot the system up and see what happens. I got a monitor off to the side. I might have to go get me a mouse. But I want to make sure I boot the system up before I put everything back together. You know what I mean? Because it's just, that would be kind of, it's the #1 rule when it comes to PC building is don't put the case back on until you've given it at least a boot, right? To make sure you seated everything properly. But I've never really had a bad GPU seat. I mean, a GPU seat. Seating a bad GPU mounted. Normally it's a RAM that gets unmounted. That's a common one. I'll have a fire extinguisher nearby. Do I have one? That's the question. Let me switch to this one so y'all can see what I'm doing. I don't know if I have, oh, do I have one? I might have one. All right, just a second, I'll be right back. Y'all keep an eye on the computer, all right? I'll give y'all a better shot of it over there, all right? Y'all keep an eye on it, and I'm gonna go get the fire extinguisher. Let's see here, it's over here somewhere. I'm not too far from the kitchen, which, I'm sorry you missed the cooking stream, Thunderhead. I actually did a cooking stream last week, and so Wednesday is going to be basically a lot of IRL stuff, basically. So it's called Lumber's Kitchen. So I'm doing a little cooking. Last week was curry. Next week, I think I'm going to plan gumbo. So that's going to be it. All right. So fire extinguisher has been acquired. It is, you know, charged there. You can see that, right? So we're good. We're good. So yeah. All right. Let's see. We need to read the instructions first. Pull, pin, hold, upright, start back 6 feet, aim at face of fire, squeeze, trigger. All right, cool. All right, so this should work. This should work if we need it. All right, we'll put that here. Put it on top so that we have it at the ready. All right. I got this other monitor off to the side. I need to go get a keyboard most likely because if I try to boot up a computer without a keyboard, 9 times out of 10, it complains at you, right? So, all right, there we go. Man, this thing is dusty too. I think my house is dusty, guys. Maybe I should just dust more often. What did I do with that little bitty rag I had? Oh. Did I drop it off on the way to the, I think I dropped it off on the way to the getting the fire extinguisher. Which while I'm over here, might as well grab my, the keyboard I can use. I have one of these it's a decent company called Keychron, like decent little keyboards, mechanical keyboards. And for the most part, these keyboards are nice because they are Mac and Windows kind of compatible, where they switch the keys out. Have a decent clicky feel too, depending on which keycaps you order. And also they are either wired or Bluetooth. So this is a decent little keyboard I have. I like this one for like my portable setups. This is a Keychron K5. So it's a 10 keyless, right? It doesn't have the 10 keys over here, but it's a good one. Oh boy, that reminds me of a story. I used to work at the local school here assisting the IT director. Oh, that's going to be interesting. So does this involve fire or? Very curious about this story. Long story short, a brand new PC wouldn't boot. We both spent 2 hours troubleshooting, figuring out somehow the keyboard was preventing the system from powering on. Man, dude, I remember someone, let me mute this. Getting so many pings on this device. All right, let's do this. Do not disturb. Cool deal. That should work now. But yeah, I remember growing up, someone had, I think it was like a joystick. No, it was like a game controller, like a game controller with the joysticks and stuff. And it was a USB device, and the pin shorted out, and the old computers never had like USB protection whenever the data pin crossed in the ground, and it shorted it out, and the computer like started smoking while he was like playing because the wires crossed. But yeah, I think we've come a little bit away with that. Most of the time a USB shorting will not fry your system, but you should still not short it on purpose if you can, or if you have a freight or cut cable, because that can happen. But yeah, I've heard of USB doing stuff like that. I'm not sure if the older PS, what is it, PS/2 connector would do the same thing or not, but it might. All right, I'm gonna go behind the scenes, guys. I'm gonna be going behind to plug this in. Yeah, oh, it was a PS/2, yeah. That was an interesting connector because it was, I mean, way back in the day, and this is kind of dating myself a little bit. I mean, back in the day, computers haven't been around that long, but the having to reboot your computer for the keyboard to work. You couldn't just plug in a keyboard. You had to reboot the machine every time you changed out a peripheral. I remember that. And I remember the AT power supply system where it was a big chunk, you know, sound whenever you plugged anything in. All right, so this thing, all right, I probably don't know which one I want to use. I'll use this display port. All right, that one's in. Good deal. Let me plug all this stuff up. But yeah, we've come quite a bit of ways when it comes to computers. They're more plug and play than they used to be. I remember a lot of things back in the day. I think my first computer was a Tandy 2000. Well, not my computer, but the family computer was a Tandy 2000 where it had the 5.25 floppy drives. It had 2 of them. Didn't have a hard drive in the system. All right, let's see if this thing boots up. Yeah, I'm getting up there. All right, I see the screen. The screen's booting. Y'all have to trust me here, but maybe I can show y'all. See there? That's booting. Oh, sorry guys. Technical difficulties, my lord. But yeah. Y'all can't look at this. It's my password. Now y'all gonna hack me. All right, it's booting up. Cool deal. It's logging all in. Yes, it's actually it's penguin 123 $, $, emoji. I'm not gonna tell you which emoji it is, but yeah, that's it. All right, looks like everything's here. Let's see. I need to plug in a mouse because I'm kind of lazy. I'm gonna have to go find a mouse. Shoot, I'm not prepared. All right, well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just send y'all to the BRB screen. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. Y'all can take a look at the PC here. This is a fine setup. Let me see. I'm gonna give y'all something cool to look at. Let's see. What can I show y'all? I guess the shot's fine. Let's get a. There, y'all can look at the. Y'all keep an eye on everything to make sure that it doesn't catch on fire. That's it. Oh no, this is a Dell Ultra Sharp. I pretty much, unfortunately, they've kind of gone a little bit downhill with their monitors, but I normally buy Dells just because I've been impressed with theirs in the past. The Ultra Sharp series. Yeah, I probably should be getting something like a Samsung monitor or something like that, or I'm not sure who, or MSI, I think makes decent monitors these days, but I just normally go with a Dell monitor. I love-hate relationship with them. I mean, I feel like that's the monitors in general. I will be hearing y'all for the most part because I can look at chat here. So if y'all do say something in chat, I should have it on my phone. AOC, yeah. I actually, AOC is a brand that I was introduced to, was 8 years ago, and they were not bad. It was the first time I just get an old MMO mouse I have. Probably shouldn't be shown, but we're gonna move back over. Yeah, Acer. Yeah, I mean, I remember working on an Acer system a long time ago, and I was like, that pretty much set my relationship with Acer. To be honest, it was one of my neighbor's machines, and it was the Walmart special, the $300 PCs they used to sell back then. That would, you know, they'll sell you a Windows. What was it? It'll be something ridiculous. It'll be like Windows Vista with 2 gigs of RAM or something, right? Like totally under memory, like just not even worth it. Like they just had so many issues. There we go. Mouse in. Yeah. Yeah, it probably, well, this actually uses this is a, should show you what kind of mic this is. But it's a it is a DJI wireless mic. So here's the receiver, and then underneath my shirt is the actual lapel. Hopefully it doesn't, from what testing, it's pretty decent quality. But the range just kind of drop out when I go through walls. That's the biggest problem with that wireless, is it does drop out if I go through a wall, and I had to go through probably 3 walls. So yeah, so it's not Bluetooth. It's a little bit better than Bluetooth, but it does use the same like wireless bands and stuff. So okay, let's see here. Let's see if I can connect. Ha ha ha. Wireless works on it, so that's good. Yeah. Let's just make sure that works. All right, cool. Well, we're online and everything. That's good. I'm going to load up actually OBS on this one to see if the capture card is working. I might unplug my overhead just to test everything to make sure it's working. All right, so this is all there. Cool deal. Yep, good deal, good deal. It's here. Which one is this? Is this? There we go. Oh, let me go open up the device manager. Let's see if it found the, all right, so I didn't find that, so I'm gonna have to go install some drivers for this thing to make sure it works. So what is this? Elgato Cam Link Pro software downloads. I could have preloaded this on the system, to be honest. Cameras. I think it's Camlink Pro, actually. Camlink Pro works out of the box. Oh, no, it found it. Okay, never mind then. All right, cool, cool, cool. Let's add video device. Sweet. Oh, they're all here, man. Nice. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Good deal. All right, so I'm going to unplug this one camera I have over here out of the other one, the overhead. So it's unplugged. I just want to test this to make sure it works before I go too far, you know. I know y'all can't see 90% of this, but you know, always good to have testing done. Hey, it's working on my end, so that's good. Let me do this. I'm going to kind of give y'all a preview of it so y'all can see that it's working inside of, we'll do okay on that. Let's close that. I don't want this. All right, there we go. All right, so let's see here. I'll turn this around and try to get y'all an angle of the monitor here so y'all can see that it is indeed working as intended. So there you go. So y'all should be able to see that it is picking up little cam there. So yeah, pretty cool. We got everything working on there. Now all I need to do is just figure out a place to park this machine and wire it up into the kitchen area. I don't really have a very portable setup at the moment on this desk. It's more like a one-time stream thing. That is, so this system's all ready to go. Now, what I probably want to do, I probably do need a bigger power supply for this one if I want to get the better processor. But it's like, you know, it's like whatever, you know, like, do I really need it? I would like to have that better processor, but the 2070 Super has plenty of juice to do streaming. I mean, that's what it, I mean, it can encode anything. I mean, it's going to encode 1080p signal, no problem at all. Mainly because on my gaming streams, I do 1440p and it should work fine. And so, yep. All right, let's see here. Let's actually, while I have everything set up, I'm going to power this machine down and I'm going to put the graphics card in the other one, in the other machine that I have on the floor, just so you guys see where it's going. The 1070, that is. And I'll also hook up the hard drive, I mean this hard drive too in the other machine. I can show you off the miniature version of the system I'm also building. I think I also need to put an extra fan in there, and we can do that too. So let me power down this machine and we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm happy with all that. That was easy. So let it power down. I'm just gonna start. All right, cool deal. Let's unplug all this. I'm also gonna plug in my overhead again because we're gonna start building a different machine here. Basically repurposing the components for this other machine here. I guess I should have tested out every single HDMI port, but I feel like if one is working, the others probably should work. I say that now, but then I question myself. All right, do that. All right, we're gonna just actually we'll go this way. Oh, well, there's one other thing we need to do with this machine is put the panels back on, right? Yeah, most important step. So we didn't do that. Oh, I'm gonna put this over here. Put that in the chair. All right, keep the fire extinguisher handy, right? All right. Oh. Put the case panel back on. This system should be lighter because I took out an SSD and a hard drive, but then we added a bunch of extra stuff into it, so I'm not sure if it's going to be lighter or not. So we'll see. Let's see this. Let me just double check to see if the overhead's working. Cool. Overhead is back. It's working. Good deal. Just want to make sure that before I went too far, because I have to go behind everything to make sure it's plugged in properly. Probably shaking a little bit. Let's put the glass panel on. All right. One stream ready PC done. You can fit so many HDMI sources in this bad boy. 4 exactly, or 6 if I use my other capture cards with it as well, because I have a Camlink USB and I have another USB-C capture card. And I want to say I have a USB-C on this. Yeah, I do. There's one port on the back, so that's good. One machine down. One more to go. Oh shoot, I'm knocking stuff over behind the scenes that y'all can't see. All right. I'm actually going to have to go find a power supply for this thing, I believe. So this is the other machine that has the get a splitter. Oh, that's true. You could technically use a switch too with them if you had a switch, but this machine is a little bit smaller. It has a little smaller board. It's an ITX motherboard actually, and this here is Be Quiet It's like their top of the line air cooler. But there's something I need to add in here while I have it all out, is I need to add the actual extra fan to it. And then I need to add in a power supply because I took the power supply out of here. Then put in a graphics card back in. But this is the 3900X. The thing with this one is I have to take off this plate off the top to put the fan in, because normally, oh shoot, you just take off these little bitty caps, right? And then you can put a screwdriver down there like that. But I actually have to pull off, take it completely apart to get the fan in there, because you can't put it in there because there's no clearance down there. That's just what sucks with this one in the small build. But it is tight in there, if you can see how tight it is. Let me put to the over. Let me put it over to the overhead so y'all can kind of see some stuff. Someone's been whispering. All right, there we go. It's like someone whispering, "Are you building the PC yet?" Like, bro, I've been live for 51 minutes. Like, where have you been? Like, I mean, I've been doing this stuff. Thunder, you've been with me from the very beginning. All right, let's see here. I'm going to get this. Find me some other. I have a bunch of other parts here. Oh shoot, I need to find the actual fan to put in there too. Not in there. There's a power supply. We'll put that in there today. Is this the fan? Please tell me the fan's in here. Good deal. The fan is in there. There's that. There's some wires and stuff. I gotta figure out which wires to use. There's some more little wires. Don't know why I have so many of these wires. I gotta see which wires these are. Right there. All right, bring this. This has a lot of stuff in there too. All right, good deal. This one may be a little bit more involved than the other because we're having to do CPU cooler stuff, and that tends to be a little bit more complex. So, all right. So it's not going to be a 10,000. It's not a 1,000-watt power supply, unfortunately. It's just where I'm holding all my cables, because these the G5 and the GA EVGA power supplies have intercompatible cables because they're fully modular on the back. So we'll probably be using this one. Yeah, man. Anytime. So what we gotta do is we gotta take these off. You need a little bitty Allen wrench to do this. Let me get an actual shot of it so y'all can see what I'm doing. Try to be a little bit educational. So you have to take out these top screws here. So there's screws here, 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 and here. And they use a tiny little bitty Allen head to do. So that's how we have to put this fan in there. Alrighty, so we'll get this out. Gotta take out every one of these. Gotta figure out which one of these little brackets it's gonna be to. Hey Nikita, we've already built one PC. The stream PC is done. Now I'm building, basically taking the parts that I took out of the stream PC and using it to upgrade this system, which is going to be a media center for me. So what we're doing right now is adding an extra fan to this CPU cooler. Oh, I don't think I have that emote enabled. I might need to put it on. Okay, that comes off. So now I can put this fan in there. Let's see, where do we want to plug you in though? I gotta find a fan header for it. Either that or... I do see a fan header there. Where's that fan header going? I think it's going to the top. Gotta get these. That might be something I have to figure out a little bit later. So where does that fan go? Okay, I might have to do a little bit of digging in here. Problem with some of these builds is they're very tight. There's just not a lot of room for a few things. I do have a splitter. I might have to go get a splitter for this. So I see basically the only header I can see is this one here. This one here, and I can split off that, which will be fine. Let me go see if I have a splitter somewhere. I think I saw one that I was messing with before. I might cut out, so just bear with me. All right, I should be back. You can still hear me. Just had to go run and get a fan header splitter for this one. Now I gotta get it back up in there. Not putting it in there the right way. I might need to go a little bit in there, let it low angle. I probably can't see anything. I'll just see an overhead shot. Let's see here. This is going to be a painful. It's always hard to put stuff in after the fact because I don't have any room to navigate. I'm just trying to see if there's potentially any other fan header is what it's called. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. There we go. All right, cool. There we go. Got a splitter installed. So now I can do this with this fan here. So it goes in like that. Tuck you basically there. All right. Are all these the same? Actually, they're not. So which one do I use? The short ones or the long ones? So these are the little clips. I'll show you in a second once I get these untangled. There. So we have these little clips. And these are put on here. I think I need the short ones. I think the short ones is the ones we want. Yeah. All right. And so this has to go deep up in there. All right. Let's see what's the direction of airflow. right this way. We're gonna just do it like that. Cool deal. There. That's pretty good. Ooh. Right. I mean, you put this thing up in there, I don't think it's actually ever gonna go anywhere, to be perfectly honest, but we will try to get these things. Right, that just got kind of stuck on something. It's just not wanting to work, is it? It's just getting stuck on everything. I'm wondering if I can go backwards with it. You know what I mean? Like this way. It's going to be a pain to get up in there. Oh, well, I'm doing a very bad job of, oh, that's all sucked now. Getting this unstuck here. There we go. I don't care. Ooh, I better not lose that. Oh. Just getting kind of frustrated a little bit here because I don't know how it's supposed to melt. I'll try the longer ones. So maybe the shorter ones isn't what I'm supposed to be using. The problem I'm having with this one is it's like, I don't even know how you're supposed to do this normally even, because it's just, they're getting caught on everything. These wires. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. Let me just try to do it on one side, like the one I can actually see, because if I can see it, maybe it'll like speak to me. Right. Yeah, that is just the irritating thing about this one is it's just not wanting to, basically, these are not wanting to stay. I wonder if I can like kind of cheat with it. Because I mean, if it's in there, right? Like that. See what I'm saying? Like if it's in there like that, and then you put in something this way. What about this way? That ain't gonna work. Yeah, I think that's the way you're gonna have to do it. Essentially something like this. The thing is, if I did, it won't come out that way anyway. Mm. Yeah, this is one where you want to kind of put it together outside, and this is probably not the best case for this cooler, unfortunately, because there's no room whatsoever in here. There we go. Man, this thing does not want to stay hooked. I don't know why. Getting to the point where I might just like kind of force it to stay in this, get some pliers and like kind of bend it. Let me do that just so that these stay on there so I don't have to worry about it. Should have some like little pliers somewhere. There they are. Because these things, this basically it's like, this is a wire not wanting to stay in the hole at this point. It's like they just refuse to just keep coming out. Yeah, it's just being a pain. So who's all watching? I see you, Nikita, there, but who else is in there? Anybody else watching? I think Liz is there. But Liz may be AFK again. Maybe she's making dinner or something. And this is just being a pain. I can show y'all what's going on here. I'm trying to get this thing to stay, right? And it needs to go like this. Whoops. See, it's not even wanting to stay that much. It needs to stay in there like this, right? But it keeps popping out. It's just refusing to stay up in there. Is that one bent too much, maybe? Maybe this one's better? We'll see. No, it's just going to come out too. See, I don't kind of care for that design. Something's off, I feel like. I know that's how the other ones are done, but it's just not the design I want. I want it to stay up in there. I could try to do some like that, make it go in a little bit now. There, make it more of a hook. All right, that's a little bit stiffer, so maybe that'll hold or stay up in there better. Maybe that's the idea. This one might actually go on the other side too. Actually, yeah. Let's do that. And then we'll do the same on this side too. So basically what I'm doing is I'm like bending these little things a little bit because they just want to slide out. There we go. Okay, let's just give it a little bend. Is it done yet? I already built one. Did you see the first one, Liz? Thank you for the little 9,000. Yeah, all the alerts should work. So, but this is the second one, Jay, because I'm trying to get this one done since I have everything set up. The first stream one is done. The actual stream PC is done. Oh, you've been, bruh. You're the first. Oh, you watched the majority of the first one? Yeah, that's good. You're probably busy talking to people. All right, I'm gonna see if I can slide this. Shoot, it came undone. If I can just get this up in there at all. Nope, it unhooked. What dog? What's the dog doing? I don't know what the dog doing. Doing something. I have a dog. My neighbor's dog, so I'm walking around every now and then. All right, there. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. That's not the best setup. Oh, thank you. All right, all right. I'll give you the. I'll let y'all see. I'll let y'all see me. Y'all want to look at me? Hey, how y'all do? Yeah. Chores and such. Yeah, about to start cooking. Oh, what you cooking? Anything good? Oh, ooh, that sounds. Oh, Liz, you're gonna have to take a photo of that. You're just gonna have to. You can't be hitting us with that ramen stir fry and not sending us a photo of it. Just saying. There we go. I'm gonna move. There we go. Yeah. All right, that's about gonna be it. I might have to put something there. I don't even think that's gonna really stay now. Now that I think about it. No, it's not because it's too long. That sucks. Oh, you make kimchi? Oh, it's exciting. I've never made kimchi, but I've had it before, of course. It's always good. Oh, how? I mean, it's probably okay. It's probably okay. You try like a small bit of it and just see if it, like, let it thaw out and see if it smells okay. All right, there we go. I've been struggling with this air cooler. This thing's just pissing me off now. Might just give up on it. Because if this is causing this much trouble, and this computer's been running without it for that long, like, really? Is it worth it? All right, there we go. And then I'm going to do this. All right, it's almost over that. I need a little. All right, I need like one of these multi-tools. Something like, not the blade. Put that down. I need like a little bitty screwdriver here. Little bitty one. That's just, is it in there though? It's in there. There. All right. Fan is in, fan is wired, and it's not really going to go anywhere. I'm getting kind of a little bit frustrated with that bit. It doesn't want to go anywhere in particular. Let's see here. I might have to use an ingenious cable tie here just to get it to go where I want. You know, I think I'm gonna have to use like a little bit of cable tie. Let's see if I have one over here. Might have one in this box. Here, maybe not. It's not in this one, it's probably in the other. Just a bunch of cables. I want to use a zip tie because I don't want to mess with that anymore. Because I'm kind of tired of it, you know. All right. I do know where some zip ties are though. Probably in this little box. Yep, there we go. Here's some zip ties. Found them, guys. I need... I'm trying to think if I have any like smallish scissors to use, or if I'm just gonna tuck this up in there too. I bet it'll be okay. I can always tidy up the zip ties later, to be honest. Yeah, man, why am I having so much trouble sticking this in the hole? There we go. All right, good deal, good deal, good deal. It's there. So now we can switch back over to the overhead. So I spent all that time getting this fan in there. Just took forever, dudes. All right, here we go. Good deal. We have a little screw here. Graphics card's in place now. All right, we got that in there. Here's another. Go. Put the plate on. Plate back in, so because I was screwing it in over here. Oh well. Oh, I should have tightened down eventually. It just took forever. Now I need to run a cable here to the back. So I just need a singular PCI Express one. Let's see, what is this? This is EVGA. Nice. Here we go. Does this work for what I want? Is this what is this? This is EVGA2. Nice. Good deal. All these both will work. Any of these will work. Because it's it's an 8-pin. Good deal. And so this one's gonna go probably just right up through here. Comes out of the back where the power supply is going to be. I do need to get maybe an NVMe for this drive eventually, for this computer anyway, but I think what I'll just do is format this old SSD, since I wasn't using it for any purpose, I don't believe. I'll just check to make sure it doesn't have anything important on it, then use it. All right, so now we just need to flip it over and put the power on. Oh, forgot almost one important step here, and that is attaching or putting this back on. There we go. I think I put it in there upside down, but it's because I think it needs to be flipped. That's fine. Yep, that's good. I think it's all wired up. I just need to put the power supply in there. Alrighty, let's flip it over, take off the back, and we'll put the power supply in. I think I'll call this PC kind of done for the most part, I think. Just because it's kind of, I need to get this, I kind of forgot I needed to kind of format the hard drive and everything to get it up and running. So I'm just going to kind of pull this stuff out. Alright, I'm going to switch camera so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. Not really, but better than what I can do on the other one. So I'm just plugging in all this stuff. This is the CPU. This is the top pins for the top of the board up here. And then here's the big motherboard connector, which goes down here. Do that. Make sure that is just smooth and just slide it all in. There we go. Cool deal. And now I need to find some screws for it, and I think I have a package of screws in here. Just make sure. Right, here we go. Here's some screws. Fresh ones too. Probably didn't use these on the new power supply. Probably reused the old ones. I'll do like a post test, but I'm not gonna like, it will not boot though, because there is no hard drive in here at all, but it will at least post. So we'll give that a go. And after that, we'll probably be done with all this. That's gonna probably be it. Notice it seems like the stream is fairly stable, which I'm happy with. Always I'm worried that using like a completely different stream setup might cause stability issues. But it seems to be holding, so I'm happy for that. All right, let's just plug it in. Make sure all the fans spin, that kind of stuff. And then that's pretty much going to be it for this one. Ooh. Actually, this one's probably the better cable. Suppose we could plug in the monitor. Probably be worth it, right? Even if we don't have like anything, no operating system, at least we could give it a post test and make sure the graphics card is working appropriately. Got that. Now I'll plug in the monitor. Gotta keep going back and forth. Oh, I think I'm losing steam though here. There we go. Got that going. All right. Let's give it a power on test and see what happens. All right. All right, I see lights. I see fans. I see that. Let's see what it does. All right, I see BIOS, so it did a post test. Good deal, BIOS. It posted. Now we just need a. Yeah, it went to the BIOS. Cool. Everything's there. 3900X to a core. Good deal. Very good deal. I want to double check to see if the fan is working. So I'm going to plug in a keyboard here. Hardware monitor. So, okay. I think it's fine. CPU fan 2. Cases fan 2. I don't know which one that's CPU. All right, so it might be, let's see here. I mean, if you ran it at no auto. Let's just do that. Let's just do full speed. It's not bad. It's not too loud. Good deal. So yeah, you can run it at full RPM. I can't tell if it's this fan in the middle is spinning or not, but I feel like it probably will be. All right, you give me a light. but I'll test that later. But anyway, I think that's probably going to be it for the PC building setup, or the stream anyway. And so what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to do a seamless switch over to my other machine. Then we can get back into WoW, because that's important, right? Playing WoW, you know, we'll see if that can work. So I'm going to put it on BRB on this machine, then try to take over on the other machine. So let's see here. I'm going to do that. All right, there we go. We're good. All right, I'm going to turn this machine off. All right, we'll unplug you.